Hello, I've re-arrived back from outer space, and you're still there with a blank look upon your face. I'm gonna dip on the camera so that I can have 100% concentration. There's someone here briefly mentioned right here in the trailer, name of, like there's a comma there, sort of like sometimes people's last name is mentioned first. I definitely notice. Well, it would just be funny to search Facebook to see if there's a real Victoria Constantini. Okay, so there were a few things that I was going to mention that I did not in part one of the vlog. Let's see. So Paul Sorvino, of course, was casted and acted as mob boss in the movie Goodfellas. Just yesterday, I learned that when I was thinking about the name Rockefeller, let's see if it's on my clipboard. I prepared a comment about not Rockefeller but J.P. Morgan. Right here. Here was my initial comment. And Francisco was exchanged for Philly as the baseball team. And to quote classic Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg song, Frisco blanks, right? Lenny Dykstra. So I don't know if everyone would get that. It's just a joke. Always be wary of people who say it's just a joke. So I'll discard that. Send it off into cyberspace. You go, comment. And then there were some more things. So with the main idea is sometimes people's last name is written first and then a comma and then their first name. And if that is done with, that's actually his name, James Dunn. If that is done with, I can't remember what, those sort of look like little commas there. So he's sort of like the most wanted Wayans brother. There's Keenan Ivory, there's Damon. My personal favorite Wayans brothers movies are Damon Wayans. And then, is it Sean? I think it's Sean. And the guys who are the main characters in Scary Movie comedies. Then there's also Haunted House with Marlon, of course. Like Marlon Webb, the YouTube channel, comedy channel. Marlon Webb, W-E-B-B, I think. Anyways, so if just his initials of his full name spells Wick, going in that way. So if we put his last name first, comma, middle name, comma, first name, and only pay attention, disregard everything after the initials, it's going to be Wick, like John Wick. And that harkens back to an old book, Ayn Rand. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Some people say Ayn Rand, some people say Ayn Rand. It was made into a movie with the same title, and I'm still trying to think of the title of the book, and now my microphone is bumping into my shoulder. So I guess I'll re-engage the camera here. Hello again. I'm still in the same place. I'm just looking in the mirror. So I'm gonna dip. Right quick. Okay, so I had prepared some other links related to my vlog from yesterday, and that's for you. Name of Patrick Barnes. You know what? I can check out his channel. I'm not going to because I have my library loaded here. I'll check out that movie if I get a chance. Here's the vlog that I'm talking about yesterday. What I did was I took I had a lot of DVD cases for PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 games, and I put them all in this box. And I threw away most of the covers of the cases, so they're just blank cases now, like jewel cases back in the day for CDs. But I would reverse, so that people know that they're empty. I reversed it, so it's just blank paper cases is what they look like, and there's nothing in it. It's a completely empty box. And I took one of the covers, I saved some of the manuals or whatever, organized them into a bookshelf with book stands, or whatever those things are called that hold books standing upright on a bookshelf. or whatever, and I took this one and I put it in there to sort of label the box. I didn't have anything to write with. And then, so that's what that looks like from a different angle. I made a similar joke with the idea. That's funny that I found that featured in one of my videos in this one, the Electron Simulator video game. I think it'd be funny because how they used to have pinup girls on planes during the Second World War. They used to draw on the planes. It'd be funny to have something like this, or to see someone driving around like that. What else? Oh, okay. So the idea, this is an album cover here. I've already mentioned that in one of my blogs. I don't know, I can't think of which one. Okay, so here, this series of videos doesn't really have anything to do, but the idea is if I could print out fake, like bootleg, like DVDs of Hanson live concerts, and it would sort of leave a trail, you know, right? In order to, I don't know. I'm not actually going to do it, but that's the only reason that I don't throw away these old cases, like Jewel cases, and a musician named Jewel. And so the idea is to take boy bands, and I told someone in the UK, someone who I support, his YouTube channel, he's a fellow video creator, Aaron of Oxford, or Aaron the Great. Here's a video, send it to him and his followers. The idea is I'm trying to ask them who are the biggest boy bands in the UK. So like who, you know, the Beatles are well known as the biggest band in the world, you know, ever probably in world history, but what's their biggest song? It might be different than the one in America. Their biggest song in America might not be their biggest song in the UK. And what other, you know, comparable boy bands would be popular in the UK? And I told Aaron to do that because they have really restricted lockdown stuff happening. I told him if he's trying to get a date in the modern times, to print out these fake DVDs and leave a case right up to his door because he has his own place. And so I'm trying to help him get a date. You know, there's a lot of candidates and stuff. Anyways, here's a video that I recorded right here in the exact same place. But I'm so off track because there were some other things that I was going to mention. I only had my library pulled up because I was going to show the vlog from yesterday. That's the one with the Metal Gear Solid 4 cover on it. And that's a joke about, I could have put another link now that I think about it, of a YouTube video. I was playing Saints Row 4 and they completely made fun of the whole, it's a running joke in the Metal Gear Solid series about hiding in a box, like a full-size human hiding in a box, and that's like part of every game of the Metal Gear Solid series, and they made fun of it in Saints Row 4, and that only has like 100 views, that one part of the game that I found on YouTube yesterday. Anyways, so that's what that's about. That's why I have the Metal Gear Solid guy is like in the box, right, of the blank DVD cases. And so, but the real, you know, complaint that I have, where that idea comes from, is not so much Hansel and Gretel in a Hanson DVD as it is seeing people going to concerts without me and not inviting me. You know, it's like, well, I'll just print out a fake DVD concert and see how you like that. Anyways, so hopefully people take it as a joke. It's meant to be a joke. So, regarding, is it Brandon or whoever's comment that I'm replying to, I showed the character, I can't remember her name now either, from the video that I started here with the blog. And the story is, I didn't know the story. I initially saw this movie a long time ago. I've had it on DVD forever. I tried to digitize it, and that's what I do in a lot of my vlogs over here. One of them was taken down because in the I was playing the video game and digitizing the movie in the background, and it got taken down for copyright. Those are more serious than music copyrights, and that's one of my first ones after the blackout was not lifted, but not that one, this one right here. It says it's blocked worldwide. So I don't know if people can see that. Let me know if you can. That'd be cool. In fact, I don't need people to let me know because I can check it by logging out and looking at the channel, hopefully. No way to be sure. Anyways, I can definitely think of quite a few movies with a similar story. When I was reading the commenter's comment over here, I was wondering if he was being real or if this was an actual story and an actual person, or that's just the plot of the movie. And then when I saw with the second comment, okay, that clearly is he's just describing the script of the movie, like the plot. So I'm definitely reminded of quite a few other movies. In real life, however, just like the character's name, I think it was exactly at 52 seconds. Because I thought it showed that after the username thing, and then when I finally found it, it was before, right here, Constantini. So that's very similar to Castellano, and like story right here of the commenter says, what's the plot of the movie? Insubordination. Something that's been largely discussed in written literature throughout history, and I could definitely go on and on about that. But rather than that, it's just this very simple 4-word search, how to remember. It's about this. 1 out of 10 people who makes attempts to become a manager or boss is going to. It's a rare thing. Most people are just low-level employees, stuff like that. And that's what this chapter is all about in this book from 1998, if I'm not mistaken. And that's part of there's 5 more books, 4 more books on top of that. The second one's about seduction. The third one's about war. The first one's about power. The fourth one is featuring 50 Cent, who I mentioned in the vlog yesterday. He inherited the character of a real man whose nickname was 50 Cent, passed away in 1987 in his early 20s. And the idea of his character is he sort of inherited the character of him if he had survived and continued on to be a successful rapper. And that's who the 50 Cent that we know today. And so the 50th Law is going to be the 4th book. Nobody knows about the 49th Law. We're not sure about that. The 5th book is one that I have right here. My roommates were watching the local news, and it's like a bookshelf and TV. The local news, I'm going to take the book cover off. I saw this on the bookshelf of someone who was a reporter in the next city over, and not only did he have one of my favorite books on his bookshelf, he also had, so there's quite a few things about this. Here's the author right here, Robert Greene. He has a lot of great podcasts on YouTube even. I guess his name's backwards. It looks like Russian characters instead of traditional Roman like in English. That's the 5th book. Here's about Robert Greene. It says on the cover, he has a degree in classical studies and is the author of several books, including the ones mentioned. So the jacket, it's not called a cover, it's called a jacket. It's Viking Books, member of Penguin Group, from New York City. Yeah, I could go ahead and read all this on the jacket. People who have conquered their fields, their profession, do not become complacent. Like the 3rd book talks about fields and positions and professions. He is a professor. He talks about professor as his weakness as an author. in the second book. The book talks about Albert Einstein, U.S. Air Force fighter pilots, or at least one, boxing coach Freddie Roach, Cesar Rodriguez was the ace fighter pilot he interviewed. And so one of the first guys to interview really successful people was Napoleon Hill over 100 years ago. In his book, The Laws of Success, like this is the laws of power. Even the musician Blondie has a song called Laws of Survival, or no, Rules of Survival or Rules of Life. So there's 48 laws of power. It could be powers of law, it could be rules of life, guidelines to survival, stuff like that. It's sort of what not to talk about type stuff. Better to read a book. Here's just 5 things it says on the back of the book. There's a lot of design built into it. One of the best design. I don't know if I can't see. Is that visible? Oh, it's all backwards, I forgot. So it says, discover your calling, submit to reality, absorb. No, I'm not going to read this stuff. I could change the words and make it into decipherable English, understandable English. A lot of these are international bestsellers, so they're sort of written in a weird type of English. Let's see what images show up, if it shows more information about this. No. 48 Laws of Fools, that's great. Here's the entire list. I have them memorized, to be quite honest. Here's a list of just 8 of them. And so a reply book would be Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life. And reply song, even shorter, would be Blondie's Rules for Living. And so that's something to look into. Here's the most recent one. I haven't even opened it. I don't have it. I think that's the 6th in the series. He's actually talking about, on his podcast, in interviews recently, is talking about, here's an interview with Bruce Lee, where he says, be like water. So here's the guys I'm talking about over here. Here's going to be Machiavelli, where Tupac got his nickname. That's Quora.com. So that's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, let me just make sure I'm not lying. Just, because if I get in the habit of lying to other people, then I sort of start fooling myself. That's a good song, 1980s rock song. What? Where's the picture, though? So the one that I mentioned about never stepping into a large man's shoes is far down the list. Oh, so he has the whole list here. Or does he? This one's really hard to understand about spies. Definitely check out the Rosenberg spy trial of the 50s. Or Spy vs. Spy, Antonio Prohias from Mad Magazine. Sucker is like a punk. Even though he writes really, I don't know, rationally, he was in the 1970s and early 80s, he was a punk, into punk music, the author. That's what he talks about. So Napoleon Hill is different than Napoleon Bonaparte. It's a bicentennial 200th anniversary of his passing away this year. This is a joke that I originally made about a year ago. That's a very important one in regards to 2020 and 2021. Here about fantasy, 27 is the most important in a lot of ways. In the top 5, this one about the difference between fantasy and reality. Here's one mentioned in the video that I just showed next to. So when I first discovered this book, I started looking at movies with a new perspective. And it was now I can see everything from this perspective, but it was originally just the main characters of some action movies. I'll say, wow, these action movie characters follow these rules, or whatever. And the first one was going to be Antonio Montana character, Al Pacino's character. And then here's a movie, I would say a lot of lesser known Italian mob movies are going to be this one right here, Mean Streets, and one that I just discovered a few days ago, making a recent one all the way up here at the top. That's going to be called The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight. Originally a novel in the 60s, and in the 70s it was turned into a movie with De Niro. I just found out about it. Nobody talks about it. Here's a name mentioned in The Lady right here. You can see she lives on Marshall Boulevard. And what I found last year, I would say in between 2019 and 2020, I found out that word, we get that from a Roman poet in the 1st century. Definitely check out his writings, mentioned in my very long 1-hour vlog yesterday at the conference, virtual conference. So when I was watching Tony Montana and then playing this game on PlayStation 2, when I found this book originally, 48 Laws book, I thought, wow, he followed all those laws. He would have been not a transgressor. He would have been someone who observed the laws right up into the end, the last few scenes. And, it's almost like a movie version of the book. But now I can see it everywhere, even in this random person's comments who's unidentified, unidentified YouTube poster, UYP. That's funny. So, anyways, back to Keenan Ivory's Wayans initials backwards. It's like John Wick, or Galt, John Galt from that book. Still trying to think of the name of it. That's why I've been rambling so long. For 10 minutes now, trying to remember the tagline, sort of like there's a tagline on this book here. Here's just the book jacket. It shows, just a couple of sentences. And who is John Galt is what it says even on the book of Ayn Rand, her thing. That is, wow. It's not even that important. What's the name of the book? It's about a steel, STEEL company or something. Atlas Shrugged, right? Sort of like what this emotional expression is supposed to be right here that I found, because I read the captions, that can be with just this button right here they added. You just press it on or off. Not every video has captions. Most of them do. But if someone's putting a lot of, quote-unquote bad words, cuss words, it's going to look like that in the captions. And it's automatically generated. So that's sort of like a shrug, like Atlas Shrugged, the book. And the image on the book is like, man carries, world on his shoulders and eventually just shrugs it off. And so that's the main idea of the book. Was there anything else? So to wrap up everything very briefly, here's the last chapter of the video, whatever, is going to be, let's see how, I never pay attention to how long, oh wow, okay, couldn't imagine I was standing here for that long just talking, so. Constantini is very similar to Castellano, and the story that is mentioned of, what's happening in this, I didn't even get to the thing over here, so his superior officer, right? So, there was a picture that I went to this link, and I already forgot her name. Here's Play to People's Fantasies. I think I had confused that in my mind. That was Law 32 is fused with 27 over here. So people who play on other people's need to believe in something or whatever, that is people being, their fantasies being appealed to. And that's different from reality. Rap music is known as reality music, whereas other types of music are fantasy. So I'm still looking over here for, here's the one right here. So I'm not going to read that because I'm trying to think of her name over there. It was, what was it? I hope the video doesn't crash. It's already slowing down. Constantini. Like constant. So this here is, boy stepping into a great man's shoes. A great man can be changed for a superior officer. Or like the image. Where is the image? That I clicked on an image of, I think, yes, right here. Italian Mob. So I thought of a song the other day. Everyone knows, I think, the song, There's No Business Like Show Business. We're in the money. We're in the money. So to change that out for Italian Mob, there's no mob like Italian Mob. And that's all. So, this man here, I can't even say his name. It's just, it's Paine. Maximum Paine, like Thomas Paine. He is known for doing the same thing to his quote-unquote superior officer named of Castellano, who is a businessman. Oh no, is it going to load? It is going to load. I don't see links. I don't see any. So if you click this link and search that name, it'll lead you to his superior officer. Here's some links from yesterday. And from America with regards. Patrick from YouTube.